everyone, it's Fantayzia. Welcome to a Sims 4 discussion video. So just recently I did a video on the new survey that we got, and some of you guys pointed out some things, and I also was thinking about this as well because I was quite surprised it wasn't in the survey. So there is two themes that have been very highly requested that were not in the survey. I did double check with the full descriptions for each expansion pack over on the simscommunity.info. Depending on what you vote for, you get a longer description for two of the packs later in the survey. At first you get like a very vague one, and then depending what you vote for, you'll get a more in-depth description that lists more things. So I was like, okay, maybe one of them had one of these two things, but some of you guys were saying, you know, you hadn't seen it in the survey, and then I didn't notice anything either, so I went ahead and looked at the full descriptions from all of them, and no, they were not mentioned. So those two things are bands and hotels. Those are two packs that I feel like people have been asking for forever, and they're not on the survey. It's just like really surprising, but I think that means they are already in the works or already officially planned to become a thing. So that's what I really do think. Obviously I can't say confirmed because nothing is confirmed. It almost is in my head, not to the point where I'm going to get disappointed if it doesn't happen, but to the point where it just seems like there is no way they wouldn't do something like bands and hotels at this point, and with how much they're being asked for, and with the fact that both bands and hotels are two things I know are possible because we got for rent, and it would kind of be a similar system. Instead of being apartments that you live in, it would be a hotel that you stay in temporarily. But we have all these things. We have like an NPC landlord, and they just would have to switch that up. There would be, like a couple different things like room service, but a lot of it I feel like would function similarly to for rent. However, it would be much more exciting for me personally, gameplay wise. I love for rent. I actually do play with a family who is using that system, and I love it so much more than the city living apartments. However, there is some stuff about the city living ones that I also enjoy, but I do prefer the for rent ones. And when it comes to gameplay and stuff, I feel like I'll play with families a lot who live in houses. Although I will say sometimes I have them live in like a complex, so it's not like an apartment, but with for rent you can do so many different things. You can do townhouses and everything. So I do use it. I take it back. I use for rent for 2 different saves right now, and I love it. But yeah, going back to the whole family gameplay thing, I will more often play in a family home, and I don't want them to go on vacation. So I am like all for a hotels pack, and something just tells me it's happening. I don't know when. I would hope next year. I just really do believe that it would have been on this survey as a potential option if it wasn't already in the making. If you plan on purchasing the Sims 4 Lovestruck or any of the Sims 4 packs, you can use my code FANTAYZIA on the EA app or thesims.com. This does directly support me and my channel, so I really do appreciate those of you guys who use my code. Now, next up is bands. So when it comes to bands, I feel like it's very possible because one, we already have instruments. I'm sure they would expand on more. We definitely need more instruments for sure. But then with Get Together, we have the ability to create a club. And I'm just like, okay, I feel like that already makes their job easier when it comes to making bands. Yes, it would be different, but they could use that system and switch around what they need to switch around. I just feel like when things like that are implemented, I'm just like, okay, yeah, things like that would be possible. And the 9 expansion packs on the survey have crazy things on there that I wouldn't even think they'd ever do. Things that I don't even think they would get to work. I was so surprised because clearly all of those options are potential expansion packs. So they are things that they know are possible to make in the game. I'm not gonna lie, that did get me really excited because I was a little like, I don't know, I was a little disappointed, but I also expected it at the same time when they said, there's no Sims 5 coming. I knew that Project Renee likely wasn't going to be Sims 5 since they did already tell us Project Renee is going to be running at the same time as The Sims 4. And they don't really do that when it comes to the next generation of the actual original Sims. But we do know it'll be a life simulation game. It's just going to be pretty different. There's going to be multiplayer, and I guess it's going to feel really different. We don't really know yet. But hearing them say that they are not working on The Sims 5 and they don't plan, basically their thing is they don't want to replace The Sims 4. So they just don't have plans for The Sims 5. And I did tell you guys in other videos, 2 videos now, that I do think The Sims 5 will come eventually. I just think it's going to be way later than we would have ever expected. expected, because let's be real, they can't just run The Sims 4 for another 20 years. There's gonna come a point when it's just too outdated, just how like The Sims 1 is too outdated now. It's like impossible. They can try to keep the engine and stuff like that. They can like upgrade things and things of that sort. But regardless, there's gonna come a certain point when they literally have to wrap it up. You know, there's also gonna come a certain point when they've done everything. I just think it's gonna be way, way longer, and clearly they have ideas for 9 expansion packs. So that kind of tells you that The Sims 4 has years still, but I think in years and years to come, we'll see The Sims 5. Who knows? It could be literally like 8 years away, like long time, but I think it'll happen eventually, just because The Sims, I mean, let's be real, they are a business, they make them a lot of money, and once The Sims 4 is done, they're gonna need something else. So unless they decide to just create all these other life simulation games, like how Project Renee is gonna be a different title, but it's still gonna be life simulation. Maybe they're gonna make a lot of different life simulation games that are not The Sims, but I would hope in like 8 to 10, at least, like, come on, 8 to 10 years, there needs to be a Sims 5. That just sounds insane. Like, that's so far away, and I would hope that it's sooner. But yeah, as of right now, no Sims 5 is being worked on and not planned on, I guess. With that information, I will say it's, you know, kind of left me with, okay, we're stuck with The Sims 4 for who knows how many more years. And I'm actually kind of getting excited now. I would have preferred a Sims 5 within the next like couple years, but since that's not gonna happen, I kind of just like sit with what I'm given. You know what I mean? So if I'm told something, I'm not just gonna like cry about it and like whine about it. You know what I mean? It is what it is, and I'm gonna make the best out of that information. And to be honest, like, I am excited about these 9 expansion packs that are possibilities, and I'm excited to see them hopefully better the game. Just the way they've been talking about things sounds like they really want to improve on this. And you know, we just got DirectX 11 for The Sims 4, and we got all these bug fixes. Apparently it fixed my wedding stories. I don't know. I haven't tried it myself yet, but I have been seeing some articles about that it officially fixed my wedding stories. So if that's the case, that's amazing. I am hopeful about the future of The Sims 4. Obviously, I'm very nervous about some things too, because there is so much DLC for this game, and it does make me nervous to kind of think about, okay, how long until this game just officially breaks forever? Yeah, their plan is to just better, you know, improve things, optimize things, and hopefully that will be the case. I know in the past they've, you know, said, oh, we're gonna fix this and this, and then they don't, but now it seems like it's actually gonna happen. Like, they officially made an announcement, officially told us there's no plans for The Sims 5. And so if all their time is gonna be put into The Sims 4, if The Sims 5 is not even being worked on behind closed doors, well, you know, all their time is going into The Sims 4. Of course, Project Renee, but I think that's a whole, you know, different group of people. I don't know. I am excited to see the future of The Sims 4, and I do think we're going to be getting hotels and bands, and I really think that's why they're not on the survey. I was going to also mention fairies, but the reason I'm not is because they were talking about expansion packs, and we don't really get a call to expansion packs with the exception of Island Living, and I think they really flopped with mermaids and their focus was not on them, and they probably know that. The occults that have come in their own game packs have, you know, been much better, and I feel like the feedback was much better for those. Mermaids were left very lackluster. I feel like it was just like an excuse to add them in. They probably didn't want to do a whole pack on mermaids. They probably felt like it was kind of like a more side occult, which I think it still deserved more than that. Hopefully one day we'll get like a pack refresh and they'll go back and fix the mermaids. That would be awesome. But yeah, I'm just assuming that fairies will come with a game pack, and we haven't seen a game pack in a long time. So I'm a little nervous, but I don't think they're gonna just not give us fairies. I think that's gonna happen. I don't know. I feel like they have this plan at some point to just randomly release a game pack and it's gonna be fairies. But right now, their focus is expansion packs, stuff packs, and kits. And then now we're getting a new type of kit as well, creator kits. So I guess that's just what they've decided to do. You know, at the end of the day, I feel like decisions are always made for like business reasons. So I don't know, maybe game packs didn't do as well. I miss game packs personally, but I also like the idea that we have stuff packs back. Even though we don't get many of them, we do get some, and I'm sure there'll be another one in 2025. And then I also like getting more expansion packs. What I don't like is the price tag for the amount of content we're given, but it's kind of become the new normal, as sad as that is to say. Games are getting like more and more expensive. Literally here in Canada, I have seen pre-orders for games over $100 Canadian, which would still be a lot in USD. So that's another thing, like another factor, I feel like why the expansion packs are like more lackluster for a bigger price. But also at the same point, expansion packs have been that way for a long time. They've always been the same price. So that's where I'm a little conflicted, but I will say expansion packs used to feel more full, at least like not all of them, but quite a few of them. You know, Get to Work, I feel like needs a whole refresh, but Get to Work was the very first expansion pack. So I'm not really gonna judge it, you know, I feel like the very first one is always kind of rough. And then to me personally, Seasons felt very fulfilling to me, but it's probably also my gameplay style. And then with Cats and Dogs, it was lacking as in, you know, it didn't come with horses as it should. And, you know, I feel like other animals should have just been there. Like we got the My First Pet stuff pack, and I feel like that should have just been in Cats and Dogs. So in that way it was lacking, but with the Cats and Dogs and the New World and the career and all of that it did come with, I was also very fulfilled by that. I feel like I'm more disappointed with the more recent expansion packs, like Horse Ranch. But then they're not all bad. Like I really do enjoy Growing Together. However, I can see where Growing Together lacks too. There is some things that I feel like should have been in Growing Together that are just not there. So yeah, what do you guys think? I wanted to talk about a lot of things clearly, so here we are discussing for so long, but obviously the main purpose of me wanting to start this video was the fact that I really think they have bans and hotels in the making, and that's why they're not in the survey. It only makes sense. I don't see why else they wouldn't be. They're very requested. We know that they're possible to create, and we're honestly very overdue for like a vacation type of expansion pack as well, since they're not doing game packs. You know, usually we get like the vacation ones with game packs, but that's not happening either. So anyways, you guys, I'm gonna wrap this up here. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.
Simple minds. I guess we'll take it one